Alright, what is up guys? It has been a minute since I've done a rant style video, and you know I love these videos, so it means I have to do another one soon. And what better topic than to do one on than while I'm sitting in trade chat, hating my life because I have to do this, than an auction house. Because dear God, do we need an auction house in this game. And if what I mean by auction house, to be fair, I don't mean like you go in there. I say auction house, I just mean a market. Like, it's auction house is like the common term for it in like every MMO. You place an item for a certain price, and then everyone can go in there and look at the item later, and then buy that item for whatever the price may be. Like if I place this Chappelle for 100 gold, it'll be on the market. Anyone can search for like this Chappelle or for the Chappelle with similar stats, find it, pay the 100 gold. It gets sent to me. They get it. I don't have to be in there selling to them at the perfect time. And it's that easy. And you might ask, well, why do we need this? Well, because certain gear is really, really hard to find if you want. Let's say, for example, because it's not that important for bad gear. But let's say, for example, I want a really good necklace piece. So epic, legend, unique, item property. It's good +1 all, right? And I could probably sit here for the rest of the time I'm recording this video, and I may never have one pop up. And we're just gonna test it just to see, just out of curiosity, honestly. And the chance that one actually does pop up, it will probably be very overpriced. So this right here is one of, in my opinion, the biggest issues with this game currently. Completely ignoring anything balance-wise or like in-game-wise, class-wise, that type of stuff. That is like secondary in my mind. Just the auction house alone would be so big for this game, and you're like, why? Why is this something that'd be so big? Well, let me tell you. Let's say you go in a run, you have a bad run, you guys die, and you need to buy a new kit. And you don't want to buy a bad kit. You want to buy some decent gear, some purples, some good rolled purples. Well, you see this. Like, for example, let's say I only wanted a necklace apiece because that's the best necklace for, like, pretty much every character in the entire game. And I want a good one. Like, even if I don't want all attributes. Let's say I just want one with, say move speed. If there's any move speed in here. Oh, there's no move speed either. Okay, that's two of the best rolls on a necklace that I can't get because none are posted. However, if there was an auction house, well, for one, I could just go on there and look directly and see if there were people selling things that I want. And if there's not, then, I just move on to something else. Oh, look, see, one actually got posted, which is honestly quite surprising to me. You see this? Like, we actually got a post. Neither of these have plus all, and this one is like, look how expensive this is. If you don't know how much 10 ingots is, this is roughly about 6,000 gold, 6 to 7,000. This right here is close to 2,000 gold. So these are very, very expensive. That's another thing with an auction house. Is the reason some things get so expensive, and the reason some things are really cheap that you can find steals, is because no one knows what the price actually is for something. However, let's say I wanted to sell, a sword. Like, let's say I want to sell a falchion, right? Or where's my falchions at? Oh, they're all down here. Let's say I want to sell a falchion, right? I could just, search this up. I could look at the falchions, look at the prices for things that are going for similar rolls, and I can post mine for that price. If you played Greed is Good, the game was kind of shit, but it had a great auction house for this game. It had a fantastic one. Literally, just put in the weapon type you want, search for some of the stat, like a stat on it that you want. It shows you every listing for it, shows you the price. You can put in the buy, get it right then. Boom, you get the money. And the person that sold it, they check their inbox, they accept the gold later. You don't have to be sitting here directly talking to someone to buy your item. And like I said, you can look and see if the item is actually there on the market. And if there's none on the market, then you're like, okay, well, I know there's none, so I can just look for something else. Or you could put in a buy order for it, and someone could just sell it directly whenever they have it. They're looking to see a buy order. But the thing is, it's just like the amount of time you spend in this trade hall trying to buy good gear, because the thing is, you just don't know if something you want's going to get posted. Like, for all I know, it could get posted within the next minute, or it can get posted never. Like, I could literally be sitting here for 30 minutes and never see the item I want. I have no idea whether or not it's going to happen. However, for an auction house, like I said, I can go in there and I can look at the auction house, and if it's not in there, I know the chance it just randomly gets added right after isn't very high. Not saying it can't happen. However, if it's not in there and there's nothing in there, I'm probably not going to get it. At worst, there's probably people that are just going to buy and resell it for a higher price, which is okay. I'm willing to pay that price. Like, I'm willing to pay a higher price for gear, but I just need the chance to buy the gear. Let's see, like, what is this, for example? It's actually not a bad pendant. Like this, but this right here, though. This pendant is literally worse than this one by a pretty significant margin, and it's going for nearly 50% more of the price. One key is around 9,000 gold. Attending gets around 6,000, roughly. Like this right here is like something that I mean. It's like people just have no idea on the price of certain items. And because of that, prices get really, really high, so it makes it really, really hard to buy good gear. Like, I mean, like I said, for people like me that are super rich in like gold, it doesn't really matter that much. But for like a casual player who doesn't have, you know, thousands and thousands of gold stacked up, buying good items is pretty much impossible. It's very, very hard. And then something else. This is like, honestly, I don't even really care that much. This is like a side note. But as I'm sure you guys have all seen, there are RMTers like crazy in these places. Like, they're always in here posting like stuff they're trying to, like, you know, like, I'm trying to think, I'll see if I can see one. Like this, like literally right here. This, oh my god, I can't scroll. This guy right here, literally, he's trying to sell gold for 1,000 gold for 0.5 USD, and then you see people that are selling just like for directly of currency. If you've ever seen anyone sell for like this, like RMB or R anything like that, that's people just trying to sell for currency. It's like if you have an auction house, they can't really do that. They can, but not as easily is what I mean. It's way harder to go in and post an item on the on the auction house for a certain price and have somebody get it. And it's also a lot harder for you to like market your items in that way, because you can't like, you know, like for this, for example, somebody's posting, I can just right click on them, click trade, and I can sit there and talk to them directly. You don't really do that on an auction house. It makes that way, way harder, which makes it way better. And another part of the reason the items are so expensive is because of people RMTing and buying gold and stuff. The more people RMT and the more people buy gold, the higher the price of things get. And the best year, people get to the point where, oh, like, I'm not going to sell this for gold. I'm just going to sell this for real money. Like, why sell it for gold when I can sell this item for $50? You know? And it's like, you can't compete with that. Like, I mean, you can't compete with some guy that's willing to sell it, like, with somebody that's willing to pay $50, like, dollars for, and when you're trying to buy that shit with in-game currency, it just doesn't work. But anyways, the need for an auction house is drastic. I mean, at this point, it just doesn't. I mean, I know they said they're trying to implement one, or they're working on it, or thinking about it, but like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, there's no reason there shouldn't be an auction house. Yeah, maybe when the game was smaller, it was fine because it wasn't that much of an issue. But now that the game is bigger and you have more people playing it, it is like a absolute need. Because, for example, like I said, for me, if I die and I want to buy a new kit, to get the gear I want, it literally will take me anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour to find the gear I want. And that's if I'm, like, settling for gear. If I'm looking for absolute BIS gear, I could sit in here for probably all day and never find what I want. Just because, for one, whenever it does get posted, everybody else is in there doing the same thing I'm doing, and they're just, like, you have to, like, try to spam trade them. Because if you don't, someone else is going to get it. And it's ridiculous. It's so unfun, and it's like one of the things about this game that I hate the most. Like, dying and losing gear is completely whatever, but then it's having to get that gear back and the amount of time you have to spend to get it is awful. But anyways, that should be it for the video. It was just a quick little short one of me complaining and wanting an auction house, because hey, maybe, I mean, I feel like I've complained to the devs who listened before, so maybe they'll listen this time. Put that auction house in quick, fast, in a hurry. But as always, if you guys enjoyed, feel free to comment, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And if you want to talk about it, like I said, do feel free to comment down below. But if you tell me you don't want an auction house, don't waste your time, because I'm going to call you an idiot. But until next time, later.